Welcome back to Nigerian. In today's video, I'll be revealing to you how I formed a US company here in Nigeria. So let's dive in. In our previous video, we talked about how to create a trip account, and I believe that most of you guys will like to know about this one as well. So in today's video, we are going to be discussing on how to register a US company as a non-US citizen without visiting the US. That sounds good, right? Now there are many benefits of forming a US company, and I'm going to start by telling you my own personal experience. By forming a US company, I'll be able to access many things that are inaccessible before. I now have access to trip account that I can use to accept international debit or credit card payments for my business, for my website, or from a client all over the world. Trip is not available in my country, but because I formed and created a US company, I was able to register a trip as a US company, and I got access to it legally. And this is something I will be sharing in this channel, and the feedback has been amazing. And I also have access to US business bank accounts that allow me to receive US dollar payments, and at the end of the day I can transfer this to my local bank account, and this transaction is free of charge, and you can only have access to it as a non-US citizen if you form a US company. Also, you can activate Shopify payment gateway if you are a non-US citizen. If you have a US company, and people who use Shopify knows that this is a very big relief. With a US company, you cannot imagine the kind of opportunities you are going to have. For example, there are some platforms and some verification you might have to do, but then your country isn't legible, but you can register and complete this verification as a US company, and you are going to have access to it. There are other benefits such as large customer base and increased credibility. But aside from what I mentioned, there are other reasons why people want to form a US company. Also, if you have a Google Access account, you can submit your tax information using your LLC, and Google may not be deducting tax from your earning. When forming a US company, it's very important you also apply for EIN number, because just like SSNAS is important to US citizens, that is why EIN number is important to our LLC as a non-US citizen, because without that your company registration will be incomplete, and you may not and won't be able to do anything with your company. And that is why I'm making this video, so I can help you to make the right choices. Now that we have explained the benefits of forming a US company, it's now time to go over to the next step, which is choosing a state. Now, what do I mean? Before you get started in forming a US company, you have to choose a state in the US where you want to form your LLC. Now there are over 50 states in the United States of America. You have to choose a state from this state and form your LLC. Each state has its own state fee that you have to pay the government of the state to form your LLC. In addition, most of these states has an annual fee. Then there are cheap and expensive states, and there are examples of expensive states. State fee is $500 and there is no fee. And from the list you can see other states that are also expensive, and there are more of them. Then there are cheap and expensive states, and there are examples of expensive states. State fee is $500 and there are other fees. And from the list you can see other states that are also expensive, and there are many of them. Now, as a non-US citizen, I won't be thinking of forming my US company in any of these states. Why? Because it's way over my budget, and secondly, it's very expensive, and I've done the research for you to keep a cheap and affordable state where you can form your LLC, because as a non-US citizen you have the liberty to form your LLC in any state you want, giving you the opportunity to choose a state that is cheap in order to register your US company. But if you're a US citizen, it's necessary and recommended that you form your US company in the state where you currently live. The states on your screen right now are cheap and affordable, and you can choose any state from the list to register your US company. From the list you are going to see state or some state that has $0 annual fee, meaning you just pay the state fee and there is no recurring cost from that state. Since that we have decided which state to form our LLC, it is now short time we are going to form a US company, and that includes our LLC, and we are going to apply for EIN number, which is an employee identification number, and then we'll proceed to get our paperwork right now. We are going to do all these things in an ink file. An ink file is a formation company which I've been using since 2017, and this company will allow you to form your US company in the comfort of your home, especially if you are non-US citizen, meaning you can form your US company right now wherever you are, and it will be very successful. And at Inkfile, we are going to get a registered agent address which will serve as our business address, and now this business address is what you are going to use whenever you are doing anything online line with your US company. Probably you are signing up for something using your US company. Then you will need to use that business address. For example, if you are signing up on Trip, you need to use that business address that came along with your company. They also form LLC super fast and at least 48 hours, and the support is amazing. They also offer the best value price. I recommend them because it's a formation company. I've been using it to form my companies and for others. They are very affordable to use, and if you know me by now, I like making things easier for people. So let's get started on your browser. Go to llcmodel.com/infi, and you can also find the link in the description of this video. And when it's open, you have to click on Start My Business button. And when this comes up, you have to select your entity type, which is LLC, because we are going to form an LLC. And for the state of formation, we are going to choose the state where you want to form your LLC. Along the line on this video, I show a cheap and affordable state where you can form your LLC as a non-US citizen. So you can choose from the list of the states and form your LLC. So I'm going to be in New Mexico. Now it's recommended you go with either Gold Plan or Platinum plan, because these are two plans that have complete package that we want. These are two plans that will have to earn a business tax number that we discussed earlier in this video, and the Platinum plan also have this earn business tax number right along with all the features that you need for your US company, and Infi is going to do all of that for you. They are going to process all your paperwork and form your US company pretty quickly. So the difference between the Gold plan and Platinum plan are extra features that come with Platinum plan, which are the domain name plus business email, free next day filling, and business contract template. So you can choose between Gold plan or Platinum plan if there are two different things. So here is what you want, but this is the Gold plan. You can be sure of forming your US company within 48 hours, and that is it. So the recommendation here is going to be either Gold plan or Platinum plan, because the silver plan is not recommended because it's just forming your US company for you, because it doesn't come with an EIN number, which is very important, and it doesn't come with all of these things here, which are also important as a company owner. So I'll be going ahead with the Gold package. So click to get a Gold package, and when you get here, the contact person you have is to enter your first name and your last name, and if you have a third name, then I will show you how to do that. So my first name is this and my last name is this, and the third name, so that is how to do it. Now for the email, you have to enter the email address that you want to use for this LLC. Probably it's not going to show your LLC documents. It's just used to create an account for you on the ink file. And then for the mobile section, you can click on the drop down and then select your country code, right? And when you select your country code, you can enter your phone number. And when you get to the emailing section, you have to enter an address from the home country, because this is a primary address that will be used for delivery of any documents or any product that are related to your order. So we are going to click on drop down and select our country, and after selecting your country, select your street address. If there is a continuation, to enter it in the box, as well as your city, your state, and your zip code. And now you will get to the next section, which is the state filling time, and here they are asking you to pay an extra $50 to get your LLC to be formed in 3 days time, and you pay $0 and your company will be formed in 3 weeks time. But go ahead and select $0, which is the 3 weeks filling time, but it's not going to take that long. The LLC is going to form in less than 48 hours or in 3 days. So go ahead and select a $0 option, and then click on next for the next section, which is the company information. This is where you enter your choice of business name that is going to be used on your LLC name or your US company name. So I'm going to use Crop of Sense, and then the designator I'm going to use LLC, but then you can either choose limited company, limited liberty co, or limited liberty company, which is the full meaning, but I'm just going to keep it short and select LLC, and then you're going to see the previous here. Now the next one is number of members or owners. If you are the only owner of your LLC, then you can choose 1. If you are 2 business partner or 3 business partner, you can choose 2 or 3. How many you guys are, you can select it here for your business purposes. You have to provide them for a brief description for your business and what you'll be using it for, and then you have to select an industry keyword of where your business related to. So to get started, you have to enter a keyword so that they can make some recommendations for you. So I'm just going to select business in my own case and sort to get a related category. And when I search for a business, I'm going to see business setup consultant services, and then your company address information. This is where they are going to give you the option of using their own professional business address and visual mail service. And if you use this option, you are going to pay at least $29 a month. But if you don't have that kind of money to pay $29 a month, you can choose to use your own address. Now go to shippito.com, and when it's open, opens, create an account, sign up for an individual free account, and when you do that, you get a free address. Now use the address to give them here. The next page will be using upsell page, where they will ask you to upgrade to their premium service package, which is also platinum package. So we are going to ignore all of this and click on no thanks. I will pass on this opportunity, but if you like any of these things you are seeing here, you can get an upgrade and bonus. And if you are doing that, that means you are upgrading your platinum plan. But I'll click on no thanks to pass on this opportunity. And now you get a member one selection, where you have to enter some details about the owner of the business. Remember, I selected that I am the only owner of the business, and I selected only one owner, and that is why I'm entering this information here. So it's going to be an odd individual, and then I will select my name so that I can fill. And then I will select on the second box so that the address will be auto-filled for the next section, which is my registered agent information. Like I said, this agent registered information will give you a business address that you can use alongside with the newly formed US company. For example, if you are going to set up on trip, you can use this business address as your US company address, and you can complete this registration. So we are going to allow the ink file to be our registered agent, and this is free for 1 year, and the following year costs $119. So let's click on it. But if you want to add us as your own registered agent, that is fine. But you have to make sure if you are selecting this, the address you are going to give here will be an address in your New Mexico or the address in the state you choose to form your US company. For my end, I choose to form my company in New Mexico. That means if I'm going to add my own registered agent, the address needs to be New Mexico. And if you choose a state other than New Mexico, then the address you need to enter here needs to be an address in that state. But I'm going to leave this with the first option so that the ink file will act as my registered agent. Over to the next step in this section. You have to provide your information in the employer number, which is your N. And this is where they get the information in order to apply for your EIN number, which is very important for this. I am a foreign individual and I do not have a social security number. And the answer is yes. When this pops up, you have to confirm that you are not a US citizen and you have never been issued SSN number before. Also, it said that the time frame is obtained. The EIN number will take up to 3 or more months. But I have good news for you. I have included a link, a free guide in the description of this video as well. This guide will show you how to get your EIN number in less than a month. That is after forming your US company, after completing this process, right? You don't have to wait for 3 months. You just have to check the description to have access to it. So click on agree and then stick to your name so that it can also auto-file. Now for the first code street address, we are going to see 2 addresses here. The first address is one from your home country. The second address is the US address that you can get from Shipito or wherever you got it from. Since it asks US for our physical street address, and this has to do with the insurance of our employee identification number, our tax ID number, then we need this to be our home address. So I'm just going to select my home country where I live in. So go ahead and seek the box whichever one contains the address from your home country. And for the next time, which is setting our small business banking, normally I don't usually go for this, which is Bank of America, because it costs money and sometimes you might have to pay monthly or maintain costs to keep the bank account active. This is why after forming my US company, I will wait for the number to be available and then I register for US bank account at Mercury.com, and every transaction there is free of charge and it's easy to create an account. Everything goes smoothly and I know it will be the same for you. So this is optional. You can say I apply for online when my business information documents are ready, or you can say no, not at this time. You can also find them call you. That is you can have your Bank of America specialized call you and then click on next. The next session is to take strategy consultation where you have them call you. You can also ask them any task question you have in mind. Also, they might try to upsell some service to you. That is left for you to make your choice, right? So I just say yes, or you can just say no. Whichever one I mean is your choice. And then click on next. And then you get to this selection saying business license and permit. Obviously, if you are not a US citizen, I don't think there are need for this. So we are going to say no thanks. I will do the work myself. So next, you are going to see reviews or summary of all the things you have been entering throughout the registration. So you can go through all this information. If there is anyone that is incorrect, probably you made an error, you can click on edit and go back to enter your current information. And if you look at the right corner of our page, you are going to see the price that we are going to pay our formation company, which is $249. And this is very affordable price considering the fact that some formation companies charge from $400 to $1,200. $100 and above to form your US company. And paying $250 to form your US company as Inc. file is a game changer. I think it's affordable. Then if you think that the price is still too much, then comment on your country below. I will provide a cheaper alternative for you. This method is one of the affordable formation companies that you might see around, so comment below to get it. Now back to the video. The selection is where you make your payment. Debit card or the credit card selection, you can put your card information, and this billing address is the address that is registered with the card that you are using, so that they can confirm the right owner of the card. It's the person using it to make payment when you are here. Enter the necessary information for them. Click on the agree box and click on complete, and then you pay. You are done. The next page will show you that your registration was successful. Then you can relax and wait for them to do their work. So this is how you can form a US company as a non-US resident without the need of visiting US. And you can do all of this from the comfort of your home. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Nigerian. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching.